Okay, so today we're plunging into the world of Fyodor Dostoyevsky, a huge figure, 19th century Russian author.
Right, often called a chronicler of the modern soul. And for good reason.
Absolutely. His novels have this incredible psychological depth just packed with, philosophical questions.
It's amazing, really. He was writing back in the 1800s, but it feels like he's anticipating so much of 20th century thought, psychology, philosophy.
Yeah.
He was really digging into these fundamental dilemmas, the complexities of human nature, way ahead of his time. And his life, well, it directly shaped those insights.
Oh, definitely. His life was, as they say, forged in fire. Those early experiences, his family, the Bible readings, they set the stage.
They did. But the real turning point, the truly pivotal event, was 1849.
Right, the arrest.
Exactly. His involvement with the Petrushevsky Circle, they were discussing, social reforms, radical ideas for the time.
Dangerous stuff back then. Considered treason, wasn't it?
Absolutely. And he was sentenced to death, actually faced a firing squad.
I just can't imagine that, standing there blindfolded.
Expecting the end. And then, at the very last minute, it's commuted. 4 years of hard labor. Siberia.
Wow. How does an experience like that not fundamentally change you?
It did. You can see it bleed into everything he wrote afterwards. It solidified his faith, his Christian faith, for one, and it dramatically shifted his focus. Suffering, salvation, the resilience of the human spirit, these become central.
You feel that weight, that intensity. And speaking of his writing, he had this unique style he called fantastic realism.
Yeah, fantastic realism. And it wasn't just like an artistic quirk. For Dostoevsky, it was almost an epistemological stance, a way of knowing.
Okay, so more than just style, what did he mean?
He believed you had to push everyday reality to its absolute limits, sometimes into the fantastical dreams, obsessions, extreme emotion.
Right, to find what?
Deeper truths about the soul, the irrational stuff, the dark corners, the visions. Things that, ordinary realism just couldn't quite capture. He wasn't just describing life. He was trying to reveal its hidden depths.
Okay, so using this unique lens, this fantastic realism, what were some of the big insights he pulled from, well, the labyrinth of the human psyche, as it's sometimes called?
Well, one huge one is his take on freedom. He's seen as a precursor to existentialism, really.
How so?
He showed that absolute freedom, especially when it's cut off from traditional anchors like faith, community, morality, isn't always liberating. It can be terrifying.
A burden, almost.
Exactly. It can lead to anxiety, moral confusion, even self-destruction. It was a real challenge to the Enlightenment idea that people are just rational actors always seeking their own good.
Right, like the hero in Notes from the Underground. He does things against his own self-interest, just to prove he can, to assert his free will. Flies right in the face of utilitarianism.
Precisely. That's a perfect example. And then there's his view on suffering.
Which is quite different from how we might see it today.
Very different. He didn't just see it as something negative to be avoided. For Dostoevsky, suffering could actually be, well, redemptive.
Redemptive?
He saw guilt, for instance, not just as a symptom, but as a necessary step towards growth, towards moral clarity, and confession. Think Raskolnikov in Crime and Punishment. It's not just about punishment, it's catharsis. It's a way through the internal pain, towards empathy, connection, maybe even spiritual awakening.
That idea of suffering leading to something deeper. It feels connected to his broader worldview, right? His thoughts on belief and ideology.
Absolutely connected. He strongly believed that faith, specifically a belief in God and immortality, was crucial for human existence, essential even.
And he saw the dangers of losing that belief.
Very much so. He linked nihilism, which was often tied to unbelief in his time, to real-world consequences like the rise in suicides he witnessed. He saw it leading to a kind of psychological and moral breakdown.
So he wasn't just talking abstract philosophy.
No, he was looking at the human cost. He was also critical of pure rationalism, certain forms of socialism. He worried about their potential to become totalitarian, arguing they just didn't grasp the full complexity, the spiritual needs of human beings. He's not pushing a specific political line here, mind you, but exploring the impact of these big ideas on you, on the individual soul.
So, wrapping this up, what's the lasting impact? Dostoevsky's legacy is huge, clearly. Literature, philosophy, psychology. Freud himself was influenced.
Undeniably. Works like Notes from the Underground are foundational texts for understanding, well, us, the modern condition.
So what's the final thought for our listeners to take away?
I think it's how relevant he still feels. This exploration of human duality, the good and the bad coexisting, the sheer weight of freedom, the search for meaning when old certainties crumble, these aren't just 19th century problems.
No, they feel very current.
Exactly. Dostoevsky doesn't give you easy answers. Instead, he throws these massive questions right back at you. He invites you to confront them in your own life, just as he did. That challenge, that invitation, is timeless.